Our new manager took control of our tips, and something happened that made the whole staff walk out. The night our entire restaurant staff walked out started with our new manager, Jake, acting like he was here to teach us a lesson. I'd been a server at this family restaurant for 2 years, and everyone knew tips were our real pay because we made $2.13 an hour. Jake got hired by the owner's daughter after he bragged about turning around failing places. On his first week, he put security cameras aimed right at the tip jars and said, "I need to monitor theft." We didn't like it, but we kept our mouths shut. Then he changed the tip rules. "All tips go in this lockbox," he said, holding up a metal box with a key on his belt. "I distribute them at the end of the shift based on performance." Sarah asked, "So you decide what we get?" And he smiled and said, "That's how you keep it fair." That first night, I watched him drop cash into the box, then slip a bill into his pocket when he thought nobody saw. 2 nights later, I got stuck with a 12-top anniversary party, and I ran non-stop for them. They handed me $150 cash and told me I made their night. Jake appeared like he was waiting for it. "All tips go through me now," he said, and took the money out of my hand and locked it up. At close, he gave me $23 and said, "You seemed distracted." After that, it happened to everyone. Maria worked a double and should have cleared around $180, but Jake handed her $19. Sarah served the mayor's family, and the card tip was $200, but she got $31. James, a college kid who always picked up extra shifts, started checking his envelope in the parking lot because he couldn't believe the numbers. Every time we asked Jake, he'd shrug and say, "Work harder. Guests can feel your attitude." By the end of the week, we were whispering in the drink station, comparing receipts, and doing quick math while the new cameras stared at us. We even snapped photos of receipts before he took them. Friday night hit hard. The place was packed, the kitchen was slammed, and we were running on fumes while Jake stood at the host stand scrolling on his phone. Then a regular, Mrs. Patterson, started choking at table 6. She grabbed her throat, her face went red, and people stood up shouting. I ran over and did the Heimlich. She sucked in air, and the whole room let out this huge breath. Jake finally walked over. Later, he pulled me aside and said, "Your little hero act disrupted the dinner atmosphere. 3 tables asked for their checks early." I stared at him. "She was choking," he said, "and we lost money. I'm docking the tip pool by 20% tonight to cover it." That was it for me. I looked around and saw Maria counting singles in her apron like she was trying to figure out gas money. Sarah had tears in her eyes because she was worried about paying for her kid's medicine. Jake was still on his phone, planning his weekend. I untied my apron and walked to the lockbox by the office. Loud enough for the room to hear, I said, "Give us our tips, all of them, now." Jake stepped in close, trying to intimidate me. "Excuse me?" I said. "You've been stealing from us. Open the box, or I'm calling the labor board right now." His face went tight. "You can't prove anything." Maria came up behind me holding a small notepad. "I've been tracking it," she said. "You owe me $340. James said, "About $280 for me." One by one, the servers said their numbers out loud, matching them to shifts and receipts. Jake started backpedaling fast. "There might have been miscalculations. The system is new." "Open it," I said again. He finally unlocked the box. Sarah swallowed hard and said, "Over $400. Inside was a thick stack of cash and a pile of credit card tip receipts that never made it into our envelopes. I flipped through them and saw my $150 and Sarah's $200 right there. Maria dug deeper and pulled out folded papers with handwritten notes like "Skim 10% and "Take extra from big tops" and "Blame attitude." Jake reached for the notes, but she yanked them back. Right then, the owner's daughter came out of the office because the shouting carried. She saw the open box, the receipts, and the notes in Maria's hand. Jake started talking, but she cut him off and said, "Give me your key." He tried to protest, then dropped the key into her palm. She looked at us and said, "Take your tips, right now." Then she pointed at the door and told Jake, "You're done, leave." He stormed out while customers stared and the kitchen bell kept ringing. We grabbed our money and receipts as fast as we could, counting on the counter under the cameras. Then the tickets kept printing, the dining room kept filling, and the owner's daughter looked at us and asked, "Can you finish the shift?" Maria looked at Jake's empty spot by the host stand and said, "No." I set my apron on the stand and said, "Me neither." James followed, then Sarah, and within minutes every server walked out the front door, leaving a packed restaurant with nobody left to take the orders. Now people are saying I overreacted by demanding the tip box. Was I wrong?